I don't know what the scale is to measure by, but I do think we've made a lot of ground up and had a lot of progress each day, each period, even today in a walkthrough period. I turned around at the end when they blew the horn and looked at the coach and said, I just got better right there. Just walking through those mental reps, getting the muscle memory built in was helpful. So just keep stacking a brick up every day and believe that by the end of August, early September, we'll be where we need to be.
I know you're a guy who always seeks to be perfect. You had a little bit of a rough stretch there with a couple of interceptions. What kind of happened, and what do you kind of do to rectify that after that practice?
Yeah, third downs in the red zone was really the emphasis of that period, and that'll be a big emphasis for us all season. And our backs are against the wall a little bit, but the first one, I just couldn't get all the way through the throw, so the ball died on me. The second one, was testing it a little bit, trying to see what I can get away with, and I learned pretty quickly I can't get away with that throw. So OTAs, some of the beauty of OTAs is you can test stuff, you can experiment, you can try things without the ramifications that you would have during the season. So just got to learn from them and use them and bank those reps so that come the season you're making really good decisions in those critical situations.
Are you the kind of guy that takes kind of those things to build? I mean, nobody wants to rest on your laurels, and nobody would say you would after the big contract and all that.
Yeah.
But you do something like that, it's like, makes you even work harder or whatever.
Yeah, I think right now I'm pretty salty walking off the field. I'm really frustrated. I do not want to walk into the summer with a bad taste in my mouth about practice. So hopefully we can finish really strong tomorrow and be feeling good going into the summer. But, man, even one bad decision in practice kind of bothers me all afternoon, and I can be a bit of a grouch when I go home. So, that one bothered me. Adam was frustrated with a couple plays himself. He was sitting in his locker pouting with me, so we were having a little pity party with each other just now before I came out here.
What about off-the-field stuff? How are you getting adjusted and acclimated to Minnesota?
We're getting acclimated. We've really enjoyed that process. We were in a hotel for a few weeks, and then we just bought a home near here and moved in this past weekend. And my wife was commenting as we drove by the Mall of America that we kind of miss our hotel over there. That was kind of fun. So every stage has been fun, and we're looking forward to just continuing to get to know people and get settled. Although I found out that the school district we're in, I mean, we're a few years away, but the school district we're in, the helmet of the high school looks just like University of Michigan. So that might be an issue coming up here in the future. Hopefully I play long enough and play well enough that we stay here and we have that dilemma in the future. We'll see. It's a balance for me, and I've had to learn this a little bit after playing the last few years. Last year, we got to like week 2, and because of how much I was grinding all camp, even in the summer, I felt like we were in week 12. And I couldn't believe we were only in week 2 because I had treated July and August like it was game day. And you have to pace yourself a little bit. So because feel a little behind the 8 ball learning this offense, I do need to be in it every day. But there also needs to be a healthy balance of getting away, catching your breath, getting a change of scenery, knowing that when we come back at the end of July, we still have 6 more weeks before week 1. So I'm trying to find that balance, getting better at it each year. But to answer your question, I'll definitely get away, relax, and also just stay in it every day for a few minutes so that I don't lose what I've gained. I've really enjoyed working with Trevor. It's a blessing to have a quarterback in your room who started 25 plus games. That's not very common. So he speaks from experience, from having been there, having succeeded and having failed. And that means a great deal to me, knowing that every day in the meeting room and on the sideline during games, he can speak from a place of experience. And then he has a demeanor and a disposition about him that's a joy to be around. He's positive, easygoing, and very smart. So I've enjoyed working with him. That's one of the many areas of development, and it's been tough not having Pat Elfline out here every day because you want to build the rapport with the guy who you expect to be there. But Nick, for being the replacement for Pat, is doing a phenomenal job, and he's really sharp. Sometimes he's too sharp, or I got to slow him down and say, hey, you audible, and I didn't even know it because you're so on top of it, and you're a step ahead of me with making the checks that, I got to know too. I can't be a step behind you. So it's been good working with him, but I got to keep up with him, and he's a Harvard guy, so my Michigan State guy, I'm usually a step behind, so I got to stay caught up. But it's been fun having players who are that sharp, Riley Reef, veterans like that who have been around the block. just trying to continue to make sure I get rid of the ball quickly and don't make their job any harder than it already is.
Do you spend time with Pat otherwise, working on some of the same stuff?
Well, Pat's locker is like 2 or 3 down from me, and so many times we'll debrief after practice or in the morning. I'll say, "Hey, this came up yesterday," and or what would you have done in that situation we talked about after practice. So we catch up with each other now and then, but I'm sure that when he gets healthy and is back in camp, there will be a lot of catching up to do because of the fact we haven't been getting those reps together every day.
You beat Ohio State.
Well, we won my senior year. We didn't beat him every year, but I think he came in the year I left, so we're safe. You know, we're at different eras, which it makes you feel old a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is a process of saying, hey, this is the way I've done it for 6 years. You've done it a different way for 5 years. Let's try to talk about why you've had success, why I've had success. Let's find some middle ground. Let's decide where I'm gonna learn your way, you're gonna learn my way. That's the process I'm talking about. And every route, every concept, really, we could talk about each individual one. And the best part of the whole thing is, you have a chance when the communication is as healthy as it is. He's receptive to listening. I can understand what he's getting at. The same with Steph, and so that's right. When I say I'm really excited about the locker room and the players I work with, it's moments like that where you feel really good about the communication and that they're hearing you and you're hearing them. I don't know that you think about it a whole lot. That's probably the best way is ignorance is bliss. So I just try to ignore the noise, not even know what's going on or being said. And that's usually the best route. But I know what I'm being coached to do. I know what I have to do. And so I don't need the outside to tell me because I have good accountability here. I'm hard on myself. So I'll always be aware of where I need to play better. And sometimes the noise may be, hey, you're not playing well enough, but I know on the inside of what I'm being coached to do, I'm actually doing exactly what I need to. And other times I know when we've won in games I've played, I haven't played very well, but everyone's patting me on the back because to the outside it looks like I did the right thing, and I know deep down I'm not where I need to be yet. So I just got to continue to listen to the people in here who know what they're talking about in each and every play, and trust that if I do that, good things will happen.
You had to obviously get used to new offensive coordinator last year. Now you did it again. How do you feel it went with you and Coach Flip, throughout the spring, getting on the same page and all that kind of stuff?
I was just pleasantly surprised with the rapport. There was a fair amount of carryover from what I've done in the past, so that was a good first step. And then whenever I did suggest something, he's just been a great listener. He's been a great communicator. I love his passion for the game. I feel like although we've never crossed paths in the past, we do have similar backgrounds, and a lot of times we're coming from a similar perspective. So I've really enjoyed working with him, and I can't wait to build reps and build experiences with him such that we have a bit of a rapport and a dynamic and a reputation around the league. Hopefully we can get there. Yeah. I think the more important level of communication will be between me and the coaches, talking about some philosophy things and how I want plays to be designed. So I'll have my iPad with me as I go home and spend time every day going back through, because a bit of it is it's a bit like drinking through a fire hose right now. I need to use the 5 or 6 weeks of the summer to go back and all the stuff I didn't catch, go back through and say, okay, I had starred this, I had checkmarked this as something to go back to when we had time rather than take time when we're so busy. So I'm going to go back through it all, make a list, probably get on the phone with Coach Flip or Coach Stefanski or an email and just talk through it all to kind of get each question answered over the summer.
You're going to try to get together with any of your receivers in between minicamp and training camp like you did down in Atlanta a few months ago?
Nothing's planned as of right now. As I go through things, if we feel that's necessary, we can certainly do that. But going back to my point about how we do have 6 weeks from when we show up in July to the start of the season, that is a lot of time. And so we also want to pace ourselves and not treat July 1st like it's September 10th. So we're going to pace ourselves, and so probably not would be the answer.
Last couple for Kirk. As far as being here, Zimmer was talking yesterday about no one's skipping minicamp contracts for reasons.
Well, when I've said it's a good locker room and great teammates, what I mean by that is, or one example of that would be that people here just want to come and work and win, and there's not a lot of other motives or other reasons to be out here. And when I talked to Eric Kendricks and congratulated him on signing his extension, he said, Kirk, really, I decided to sign because I wanted to be here because it's all about winning here, and there's no other agendas. It's just win football games. And he looked at me and he said, "You'll see. You're not here long enough, but you'll see it when we get there to the season. You'll know." So it's great to hear that from a team leader like that, and minicamp reflects that. But I felt that quite a bit day in and day out, and it's why they've won in the past, and hopefully it gives us a great chance to win in the future.
Thank you.
Best piece of advice my dad's given to me. Well, he encouraged me with a verse from the Bible. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 became my life verse, and it just says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He'll direct your steps." And I've really built my life on that. It's proven true so many times throughout my walk. And he also told me, Kirk, when you make good decisions, good things happen. When you make bad decisions, bad things happen. That applies on the football field. That applies off the football field. And his point was there's consequences to the choices you make in life, and you gotta factor that in when you make decisions. So whether it was choosing to come to Minnesota or choosing to throw an interception in the red zone, I got to live with the consequences of those decisions. And he taught me that from a young age, and that law has proven true from when I was young to now. Thanks. All right. Yep. Have a great summer, guys.